Thanks, Christy, for that kind introduction, and I think you wrote your best piece in the last decade today, so I really do appreciate it. Sign up to Mining News and read it. It was really good analysis of what we're doing as a business. And also just to the Corporate guys, this is a 20-year anniversary, and I feel like I'm a 20-year-old again in my new vehicle, so I'm really excited about taking you through our story because we've got an amazing story to tell. Like Christy said, we had a fantastic result today with our geology and a couple of stonkers, a bit like Simon just presented there on his Never Never. So look, just take you through the important stuff. I just want to start with a vision, because when I saw this audience, my 10-cent crowd, my favourite 10-cent crowd here, there's a lot of shareholders that have backed us in the journey. We're up about 30 cents today, so keep your great work. You always look after me in this conference. But I just want to start with our vision statement that we put out to, form this company 18 months ago. Is we'll utilise the power of people to produce clean metals and help decarbonise the world. It's getting really hard to permit stuff that doesn't permit and dig stuff up that doesn't make the world a better place. So it's really, really important. We need these metals. I wanted to start with a 5-year business model. We put this out September 6 last year, so a couple of months after I was in front of this great audience, and these are the 5 key pillars of what we're doing. So it's a hybrid business model we're doing. It's mine ownership and mining services. The only other company doing it is Mineral Resources, a very successful company, one of the leading entrepreneurs in WA. We're building up world-class underground capability. We're going to be one of the most socially and responsible and ESG-friendly companies on the Australian Stock Exchange. We're going to produce some of the cleanest and greenest copper and zinc that you'll see in the world, and I'll come to what we're doing there. Dial down a little bit for the ASX, but our annual copper equivalent production, we're aiming for in excess of 50,000 tonnes per annum in the coming 2 or 3 years. Our mining services capability, we don't want to be big, we just want to be specialists. We've announced internally and externally, we only want 2 or 3 contracts, that's all we see, and that will generate cash flow and help us build culture and capability and fund this business for this 5-year business plan. And I just want to start with any person presenting here or any company. Our flagship asset's no different. Our people are our number one resource, so please just take time to meet my
world's
team.
changing. It's good to be part of something actually contributing to society.
Decarbonisation is critical. It's our future.
The world depends on the product that we produce.
We wanted to be not just another mining company and set the standard.
A productive, efficient, cost-effective team that can change the industry for other companies.
I'd like to break records.
We're not scared to take a risk or do things differently. We will build something. We're not afraid to get our hands dirty.
Just the synergies have all come together, and we're building this company that's unlike any other one that I've been involved with. Everybody likes to leave a legacy and create a legacy.
We've had umpteen phone calls and emails for people wanting to get on board.
I personally had people calling me up before we even got the keys to try and be a part of this project and try and get involved in the ground floor. So really good for us to have our pick of the best and brightest in the industry.
They know what they're doing, and it's good to learn from the best.
For me, it's more about enjoying being at work than anything else, really. Throwing money at people doesn't really mean anything anymore. Everybody's paying heaps of money. Everybody gets whatever roster they want.
I'd like to know that I'm creating a difference and progressing not just myself, but a company and I guess a culture.
To produce the turbines, the wires for transmitting the electricity, and I feel very passionate about it.
You've got to remember working in a good place. People can look back and say that's what we started.
There's so much potential for growth, and again it's about us getting in good people and pushing those people through.
People are everything. We put this team together, hand-picking the best in the industry, and they are what makes this company.
I think it's hugely important to train the next generation and train them well.
You can't get out of a book, you can't get out of a piece of paper or a procedure. It's something that you need contact with people down there on the job.
All we've got is upside, big things to come.
A lot of years to come, long time, definitely.
I'm just genuinely excited about it.
When you see the people achieve, you love to see that.
The leadership take time with everyone that they work with because they recognise the power of people.
I'm looking to buy some shares fairly shortly myself, so I think it's probably a smart move to get in early.
Dynamic. Collaborative.
Exciting.
Welcoming.
Organised.
Positive.
Family.
Team.
Quality.
Leadership driven.
Trust.
My future.
Our future.
The future.
Develop.
So that's just a small smattering of my amazing team, but we can't build mines and build companies without a great team. Look, the mines of the future are underground, guys. We've found everything at outcrops, it's all going underground. And also the natural geology of a lot of these future-facing metals are underground. Demand for underground skills is actually soaring. It has gone ballistic. One thing that's really good with us is our senior management team. We're one of the largest networks of underground personnel in the Australian industry by far. We've built our world-class underground capability. We have no people, attraction or retention issues. We don't even discuss turnover. It's not even been mentioned once in senior management or at a board level. We've basically employed the sergeants, the lieutenants, the colonels, the generals from underground industry, and they've literally brought the first wave of army into our Bellevue and Woodlawn operations, and the second and third wave are well and truly lined up. And that is our competitive advantage as a company, guys, because we've got to build our own assets and we've got to help others build theirs. And look, the last 12 months has been extremely busy, but we've had an amazing sort of journey, an impressive safety record. We know our hazards. We've got a lot of experience in our management team. We've done 2 new mine startups, both Bellevue and Woodlawn in the last 12 months. We've ramped up from 200 to 250 personnel from 0 12 months ago. We've got complete new workforces and systems. We've fused the best practices and procedures from across the industry into this new vehicle. And we're backed by extremely experienced workforce. So I think we've got 140, 150 people at Bellevue's operation. I think we've got 3 green people. We're the only resource company on the ASX not whinging about people. And our principals, our senior management, we've got an amazing safety track record running large-scale workforces. Our LTI frequency is 0. And industries are running about 2.4, 2.5. And we're fatality-free as a company. And as a service provider, when you look at ESG element for your clients, that is extremely important. ESG strategy, we put this out last year. We are going to be one of the most sector-leading in this space, but I can say this diagram's nearly out of date. We are well ahead of industry and the resource industry. But I want to take you through the next slide, which is most important. So this is a concept we're drumming up internally at the moment. This is our designing for sustainability from the outset. Because we're a new company, we can embed operating management systems from day one. We can look at our capital allocation with our power generation on renewables and others. We can embed this. We're not retrofitting a business. It's so important. And this is a really interesting part because net zero, we've got to get there in a hurry for the world. And we're going to need mining companies to get there, and mining companies in particular mining the right minerals. The industry is sitting down here. Impact. Some of the big guys are getting into the avoidance zone. We're already sitting over here. We're restoring stuff at Woodlawn as we speak. But we want to get to this final column where we're actually positively contributing back to the world's decarbonisation efforts. That's where we want to be as a business. The industry is going to take a long time to get out of this zone and get into that positive zone. But we are mining the right future-facing transition metals. So we will contribute positively as a company. So watch this space. I think this slide's going to get a lot more traction in industry. But we do have to make a difference. Onto Woodlawn. We acquired this asset just a couple of months prior to I saw you guys last year. An amazing asset, profitable 20 years when it was ran. It was the second highest grade zinc equivalent mine in Australia at the time. Prior owners, and hopefully there's no Heron shareholders in here, but $340 million got invested in this. Look, it's sad, but thank you. The Woodlawn mine, we've got an operational team. We've got 70 people on site there at the moment. We've got a development team, we've got geology, a mining engineering, and we're drilling like mad at the moment. Already got a substantial underground resource. We've already got a great reserve. There's already an existing mine plan that the previous owners financed the project on. So we've already got a huge head start. Brand new processing plant, paste fill, all the surface infrastructure, workshops, office, change rooms. Try and build that stuff now. It's really expensive, and it's a lot more expensive than what it was 18 months ago. We've got a new decline down to 400 vertical metres. We've already got the first 4 levels of the first lens we're going to mine. We've actually set up accesses, ventilation, stockpiles. We've cross-cut the ore. We're actually seeing it with a 5x5 instead of a little drill core. Amazing. And this is a net zero water discharge site. We're going to take the water treatment out of Veolia's water plant and put it through our processing plant. This is a zero water discharge site, and we can operate this mine on 100% renewable energy. We will be a sector-leading example of the new generation of mine the world needs. And put a commercial hat on because there's some shareholders in, you'll get a premium for your product doing this. What's our strategy? Updated life of mine will get delivered mid this year. Board, as of today, thank you to those that are live streaming my board, approved another $8 million of underground development at the mine because we're absolutely smashing the capital infrastructure underground, and that'll accelerate a restart scenario. So by the end of this calendar year, we've basically got the first 2 years of production fully developed before we turn the mill on. So in fact, that's the best scenario I've ever seen in my career of inventory in front. We're growing the underground inventory and we're really setting this up operationally wise. We will restart this with debt, so sorry for brokers in the room or fund managers that want a cheap ticket, you're not going to get it off us. We're drilling like mad, guys. 65% of our 35,000 metre program is completed. Luke Gibson's here today, go and see him. Done an amazing job, but we've only got 15% of our assays back. It's about 8 to 10 weeks delivery on that. But we put out, as Christy said, an absolute stonker today. 75 metres at 2.1% copper and over 3% zinc. So, combine it, we're well in excess of, plus 3% copper equivalent. True width, 62 metres. I just pasted out at morning tea here, and to put that in perspective from where I stand to where the cameraman is at the back, that's 32 metres. To times it by 2, that was the true width of this intersection. Amazing. Thank God we've got a bloody paste fill plant because we're going to dig up a big hole underground to fill. Resource update due second half of this year, and like I said, we want to get this operationally ready. Bank's got delivered documents today. We've gone to all the big names, no cheap finance or mezzanine or someone that wants to mortgage your kids to give you some money. So we'll get some term sheets in the next 3 or 4 weeks, but we're not talking about a lot of money here to restart this. And the biggest risk is already built. It's the processing plant. On to Sulfur Springs. Look, amazing asset. That's what we recapped the company on. To put it in perspective, we've got a great resource here. The grades of this resource are the equivalent of Golden Grove. Anyone's followed Golden Grove, it's been an amazing asset for 35 years. One of the best VMS discoveries in Australia. But we're not 1,800 vertical metres below surface. This thing outcrops. So massive head start and a lot lower cost structure. Great MPV. All our approvals are secured. I've got an amazing metallurgist that I did steal off another company that maybe I just mentioned, who's been doing absolute first-class work both at Woodlawn and Sulfur Springs. So our metallurgical test work we've taken to another level, so watch this space. We'll get something out of that when we get time, but we'll upgrade some of that resource into a better classification. Everything's steamrolling behind the scenes, guys. We've put out a new DFS at the end of next month. It's part of myself and my management's KPIs, so it will happen, Chair. Look, amazing project. We know the commodity prices are up substantially, so we think this is going to be a really positive update for the market next month. Now, onto our underground mining services, our world-class capability. Probably don't need to say too much here. Just go to booth 7 and go and see Darren Stralo, Bill Steele and Guy Moore from the Bellevue team. We're doing an amazing job there. I've never seen a culture get built on a mine site like that for over a decade. We awarded the $400 million contract. We keep breaking record after record after record, and that mine is literally coming out of the ground very, very quickly. Great revenue, and really good revenue next financial year onwards. So watch this space, go and have a look at what they're doing, but I'm sure they'll give us a really good plug. And it's fair to say, we haven't had any trouble. We're not advertising roles here. We've got a nightclub list, and it's sort of one in, one out. We don't really have many go out, and you don't get on the list unless you vouch for. So it's amazing how many people want to come and join us, and I feel sorry for some of the underground mines in the country because we're ripping their 5% best talent out and joining us. And sorry, last part is, and obviously, we want to build this business. We don't want to be too big. We are, obviously tendering on another large project and go and see Booth 10 and talk to Big TG and give us a good plug. Look, we've got a lot of funding experience, myself and my senior management team and board. We've raised equity in the journey. We've also obviously bankrolled the businesses in finance a lot from debt, and we've created a lot of shareholder value. So with that, we've created a bit of value so far, but this is only the start, guys. We want to build a multi-billion-dollar business. We've got really good cash. I just put in another $7.5 million of my own money in the business yesterday. I'm up to 20%. I'm heading to 30. There's still about another 25 odd mil of equity still to get exercise and cash coming into the business. So we are funded. Any brokers and that in the room, we are funded in our 5-year business plan. It was all ticking along amazingly well. So if we get it right, we will be, amazingly like these companies you see here. These are great Australian success stories. If I was to throw big LTR on there, the Liontown, and the Lionaires that are all sitting in the room here, the total shareholder team would be amazing. So we hope to replicate those great companies, and they've done it through entrepreneurial leadership, world-class, operational DNA, quality projects, and the ability to fund it. So we're going to follow in the footsteps of those great ones in due course. So with that, thank you very much.